The key turned in the lock at 2:17 a.m., and I knew before the door even creaked open that everything had changed. Sarah's perfume, usually a soft cloud of vanilla and cedar, hit me first, but tonight it carried something metallic underneath, like airport air mixed with someone else's skin. She stepped inside, suitcase wheels rattling over the hardwood, and the hallway light caught the faint swell beneath her blouse. 3 months. Gone 3 months on a regional conference circuit that had stretched from Denver to Dallas to Miami. I'd counted every day on the kitchen calendar, crossing them off like a kid waiting for Christmas. She smiled, but it was the brittle kind that doesn't reach the eyes. "Hey, babe." Her voice cracked on the second word. I stood in the doorway of the living room, phone still in my hand, the screen dark but burning with the last text she'd sent 2 hours earlier. "Flight landed. Can't wait to see you." "Welcome home," I managed. My throat felt lined with sand. She dropped her bag, kicked off her heels and walked straight into my arms. I hugged her because that's what you do after 93 days apart. But her body felt foreign, warmer in places, cooler in others, like she'd been reassembled by someone else's hands. That night we didn't make love. She said she was exhausted, jet-lagged, needed a shower. I lay awake listening to the water run far too long, picturing her scrubbing away evidence I hadn't even confirmed existed. Morning brought the first fracture. She was in the kitchen, humming off-key to whatever played in her earbuds, pouring orange juice into the glass I'd bought her on our honeymoon in Santorini. Sunlight sliced through the blinds and lit up the curve of her stomach. It wasn't imagination. It wasn't bloating. It was a gentle, undeniable arc. I set my coffee down so hard the mug chipped. "Sarah." She pulled one bud out. You're pregnant." The humming stopped. The room filled with the ticking of the wall clock we'd argued over at IKEA. White or black, modern or rustic, the stupid fights of newlyweds. She placed a palm over the swell, protective, instinctive. "Yeah," she whispered. "I am." The math was brutal. 93 days. We hadn't slept together since the night before she left. I'd been buried in quarterly reports, she'd been packing. A quick kiss, a promise to FaceTime, and then radio silence that grew heavier with every missed call. I asked the question I already knew the answer to. "Is it mine?" Her silence was louder than any scream. She tried to touch me, but I stepped back like she was radioactive. "Alex, please. Let me explain." "Explain what?" My voice cracked like a teenager's. "That you fucked someone else? That you came home carrying his kid and thought I'd just, what? Raise it? Pretend the dates line up." Tears filled her eyes, but they looked rehearsed. "It wasn't planned. It just happened." "With who?" She swallowed. Javier. Javier. Her secretary. 26, dimpled, fluent in Spanish and spreadsheets. I'd met him at the Christmas party, shaking his hand while he complimented my watch, both of us pretending we weren't sizing each other up. I laughed then, a sound like breaking glass. "Your assistant." "Jesus, Sarah. That's not even original." She flinched. "It started in Denver. One drink after the keynote. Then Dallas. Then." "Stop." I pressed my palms to my eyes until I saw stars. "I don't need the tour itinerary." The next days were a slow-motion car crash. She slept in the guest room. I drank too much bourbon and stared at ultrasound photos she'd left on the counter. Grainy black and white proof that someone else's heartbeat now lived inside the woman I'd sworn to protect. I wanted to hate her cleanly, but love is a stubborn stain. I kept replaying our history like a broken film reel. Her laughing at my terrible lasagna, the way she traced constellations on my back when thunderstorms scared her, the voicemail she left the day I got promoted. I'm so proud I could burst. On the 7th night, I found the plane tickets in her suitcase pocket. First class. 2 seats. Miami to Nassau. Return date. 3 days from now. I confronted her in the laundry room. Tickets trembling in my fist. Baby moon with Javier? Her face crumpled. He asked me to choose. And you chose him. I chose the baby, she said, voice small. I thought maybe you'd come around. Maybe we could co-parent. Separate houses. You'd still be Uncle Alex or something. The absurdity broke something in me. I laughed until I cried, until she reached for me and I shoved the tickets into her chest. Get out. She packed while I sat on the porch steps, watching the sprinklers hiss across the lawn we'd planted together the first spring we moved in. She loaded 2 suitcases into her SUV, our SUV technically, and paused at the driver's door. "I'm sorry," she said. "Sorry doesn't erase DNA, Sarah." The taillights disappeared around the corner, and the house exhaled like it had been holding its breath for months. I filed for divorce the next morning. The lawyer, a shark in sensible pumps, raised an eyebrow at the timeline but didn't ask questions. Assets split clean down the middle. No alimony. No custody battles over a child that wasn't mine. But the revenge wasn't paperwork. 3 weeks later, Javier's LinkedIn lit up with a new job title: Regional Coordinator, Miami Branch. Sarah's company had restructured. Translation: they discovered the affair, the pregnancy, the expense reports for hotel suites charged to corporate cards. HR doesn't like scandals. I sent Sarah one text. "Check Glassdoor." She called hysterical. "What did you do?" "Nothing illegal," I said. "Just forwarded some receipts to the right inbox." Anonymously, of course. "You ruined us." "You ruined us," I corrected. "I just turned on the lights." She hung up. I blocked her number. Months crawled by. I sold the house, too many echoes, and moved into a loft downtown. I dated, awkwardly, a bartender with purple hair, a paralegal who quoted Neruda. None of them stayed. Then on a random Tuesday, an email pinged my inbox. Subject line: "It's a girl." Attached was a photo. Sarah in a hospital bed, exhausted, beautiful, holding a tiny bundle with Javier's dark curls. The message was one line. "Her name is Luna. I thought you should know." I stared at the screen until the image burned into my retinas. Part of me wanted to delete it, to cauterize the wound. Instead, I printed the photo, slipped it into an envelope, and mailed it to Javier's new office with no return address. Inside I wrote, "Congratulations. Fatherhood's expensive. Good luck with the child support." Petty? Maybe. But some nights when the loft feels too quiet, I pour a finger of bourbon and toast the empty air. Betrayal doesn't end with a signature on divorce papers. It lingers in the scent of vanilla that still clings to my winter coat. In the calendar I can't bring myself to throw away. But I'm learning to live in the aftermath. One sunrise at a time.